2A1A culture, religious, political, economic beliefs. The period of the Fourth Dynasty in the Old Kingdom of the Egyptian Empire was the first civilization of sufficient size and technical ability in the area capable of constructing these massive Nummullite limestone megaliths. Originally, their exterior faces were surfaced with a coating of light white limestone, so-called Tura limestone, quarried from the eastern shores of the Nile and from no more than 200 to 400 meters to the south, where the quarries for the core stones were located. To construct the Great Pyramid for the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, 6,500,000 tons of 2,500,000 limestone cubes weighing 2.5 tons each were hewn into 127 by 127 by 71 centimeter units and moved into 210 layers, 146 meters tall, in a pile surrounding the central burial chambers and the passageway to access them. The percentage of building materials is such that 90% of the blocks are below the 100-meter height level, around layer 150, counting them from the ground level upward, while only 3% remain in the upper 46 meters of building area above this height. The shape of the pyramid was as a square 440 cubits per side, piled up toward the center to a height of 280 cubits, with 356 exposed blocks per each of its four faces, at an interior angle of no greater than 60 degrees in the interior base, and no less than 43.9 degrees in the upper interior, with the average slant being between 54.46 degrees and 51.8 degrees for the outer casing stones. The same ratio of base unit side length to height yields the lowest common denominator of 11 seked per side by a height of 14 and 17.8 layered steps. The ratio of the perimeter to the height, 1760 over 280 cubits, is equal to 2 pi, to an accuracy of better than 0.05%, corresponding to the circumference over radius measurement for pi as 22 over 7 when calculated as a circle. During these 20 years, building this pyramid required a workforce of untold sum. For those 20 years, 13,200 people, at least, on average 20,000 and 40,000 at most, are said to have moved 3 stones every minute, 180 blocks per hour, 12 per hour minimum, working day and night, at 800 cubic tons a day with 10-hour work days. Quarrying the stones took even longer. On average, some 27 years would be necessary to quarry and transport the required 500,000 tons of mortar and the 2.8 to 5.9 million tons, 137.38 meters cubic, of limestone, 8,000 tons from Aswan, over 500 miles south along the Nile, the rest from Tura and Masara, across and south a short ways up the Nile River. Pharaoh Khufu's vizier, Hammon, is credited as its architect. It is written, "He would but lift his hand, and the strength of 20,000 men would hoist up their ropes and lift the stones, and he would but let his hand drop, and they would let slacken their hold." This was not even the only massive megalithic building project undertaken during this time either. The Wadi al-Gharawi flood wall, called the Dam of the Pagans, of 100,000 cubic meters of rock and rubble, was built between 4,686 and 4,498 years ago, about 25 kilometers due south of Cairo. This project is likely to have been overseen by Vizier Hammon under Pharaoh Khufu as well. During this time, Egyptian mythology, largely gleaned from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, called Coming Forth from Darkness into the Clear Light of Day, or simply the Papyrus of Ani, describe Egyptian funerary rites in great detail, and deal largely with their religious ritual beliefs in metempsychosis, the belief in an afterlife of the soul beyond the death of its incarnation into flesh. So these pyramids were created as large ceremonial working spaces to practice their religious rituals of mummification and metempsychosis. The body of the royal pharaoh would first be dressed accordingly in the king's chamber, at the central core of the above-ground structure of the Great Pyramid, then placed in his royal sarcophagus in the queen's chamber, below this and separated from it by the grand gallery sloping hall. Following these treatments, the body was then interred a while in the lowest subterranean chamber of roughly hewn cavernous rock before being removed for its official burial in a separate mastaba.